Welcome back, guys. Favorite trainer Catherine from Catholic Fitness with your favorite chiropractor, Dr. Brenda Yee from Nurture Family Chiropractic. And this is really exciting because this is the first time we're actually in her clinic. So voila, here it is. In this video, we're going to be talking about common hip problems which can affect athletes that have to deal with a lot of hip movement in their sport. So common examples will be runners and soccer players. And so it's little things you don't often think about, but let's say you are a student or you are someone who has a desk job and you're sitting down for the majority of your day. So what's going to happen is when you're sitting, your hips are going to be in a constant state of flexion, so where your knees are kind of closer to your chest. And so your hip flexors are actually going to be in a constant state where they're shortening, so this is going to cause those hip flexors to get really tight over time. So when it comes to your actual sports, like whether you're running, it's going to be hard to get full extension, and that can actually limit how fast you can move or change directions. And let's say you're training with like squats or a strength athlete, it can actually affect when you're getting into the position or pull you into bad movements. So there's lots of ways that tight hip flexors can actually be detrimental to your sport. So I'm going to pass it off to Dr. Yee, and she's going to elaborate on this.
Thanks, Kath. So why are hip flexors very important in our daily movements? When we have tight hip flexors, this can actually decrease the range of motion that your hip is able to open up into. So specifically limiting hip extension and also bringing you into painful movements when you're in maximal hip flexion. So with this being said, this is really important because we want to be able to move our hips in whichever range we need to be able to move it in to optimize our function. So we're going to be able to go through some different stretches and strengthening exercises for your tight hip flexors to combat what's going on. You might be thinking, why would we strengthen a muscle that's all
Muscle. It's all good.
So why would we strengthen a muscle that's already feeling tight? So what happens is sometimes your body will create a sensation of tightness when the muscle is actually weak. And this kind of brings the muscle to our attention. So we want to do a combination of strengthening and stretching to get the maximal effectiveness through these different exercises to combat those tight hip flexors.
So next we're going to get into a few stretches and mobility tools that are going to help with this. So to further on what Dr. Brenda Yee was saying, so we're going to go over 3 tools which are going to help your hips. So the first one's going to stretch your hip flexors, the second one's going to actually open up your hip capsule, and the third one's going to strengthen your hip flexors. So the first stretch is going to be basically what I'm in right now called the runner stretch. So what you're going to do is you want to stay nice and tall in this position, and then what you can also do is tuck your glutes down into a posterior tilt, which is going to help you get deeper into that hip flexor. And you can also play around with this movement. So like, for instance, I can stay nice and tall, push forward, which is also going to help me get a deeper stretch in my hip flexor. So that's going to be the first one, and I'd recommend holding the stretch for a minimum of 30 seconds up to a minute so you can get a deep stretch. So the second one we're going to do is going to be a mobility tool which is going to help open up your hip capsule. We want to use the Pales Reels method. So I'm going to come onto my back. Dr. Yee is going to cue me through, and she might give us some recommendations as I do it. So nice and flat on your back. I'm going to put my arms down for support. You want to have your feet planted and glutes planted as well. So what I'm going to do is you're going to draw your knee down closer to the ground and go until you reach the end range of motion. So that's basically where I can go from there. So if you had someone with you, then what that person can do is apply pressure to create an isometric contraction like Dr. Yee is doing right now. And so you're going to hold that for about 30 seconds. And what the isometric contraction is going to do is going to force your body to realize that this range of motion is a safe place for you to be. Now, if you don't have someone, what you can do is bring your other leg over and use that to create the isometric contraction. And then same thing, you're going to hold that. So then after you've done that for about 30 seconds, your partner's going to move weight or you're going to move the leg. Then you're going to repeat the process. So you're going to drive the knee again closer to the ground and then repeat the pressure and do that for about 3 to 4 cycles. And that's going to help to create internal rotation in your hips.
And these prolonged motions while you're holding them are going to encourage your body to understand that this is a safe range of motion for you to be in.
Perfect. And so the third thing we're going to do is a method which is going to help strengthen your hip flexors. So we're going to use this band, and don't make fun of me as I get into it because I might look like a turtle trying to get off its back, but I might just get Dr. Brenda to help me with that actually. So what you're going to do is take the band, put it over your feet and over your knees.
Very good.
So, so yeah, you want to
Try to unroll it a bit.
try and unroll it so it doesn't come out while you're actually doing the exercise. And so what you're going to do from here is you're going to bring one knee towards your head.
While
Like-
maintaining the leg, while maintaining one foot where it is, it's going to create that extra resistance in the band to really challenge your hip flexors.
Yeah, and you're strengthening the hip flexor when the knee is coming towards your head. And you're going to switch and repeat that action. Like so. So you can do about 8 to 12 reps for each side. That's going to be a great way to really strengthen your hip flexors. So thanks for watching, guys. For more videos, workouts, training tips, if there's anything you want us to cover in a video, let us know in the comments below and we'll drop that for you. If you like this video, please like and share. It really helps a ton. Get CAFIT. Check out her website, which will also be in the description. We will catch you next time.